Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos and welcome in today's episode. Now before you go ahead, make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe, and let's get in today's episode. So we saw what happened in the past few hours. 19 billion was all wiped out in the crypto market. A lot of people that were trading cryptocurrencies were all liquidated. And I don't care which type of stop losses that you used, because the price moved really fast. And when the price moves that fast, you're going to experience slippage. If you don't know about slippage, your order doesn't get filled at the price that you set because there's no liquidity at that point. The market moves really fast and it has to find somewhere that there's liquidity for your orders to get filled. So even if you put a stop loss, your order wouldn't get filled. It will be filled at a price that is below your stop loss. That means you get more loss. That is what happened. A lot of people that had leverage on most of these crypto assets got liquidated. So something really unexpected happened to Kaspa. And I think this is going to be a point that most Bitcoin maxis are going to use going from here. We saw Kaspa go from 0.07 straight to 0.01. I never thought I would see Kaspa at these prices, but it happened live and I was just watching the price go from 0.07 straight to 0.01. And it's not only Kaspa. You can see Sui, XRP, Bitcoin itself went from 126 to just 102 US dollars. So this is not the first time that we are seeing this amount of volatility, but the amount of liquidations that happened is the biggest in crypto history. So if you've survived this massive sell-off, I think you have survived something really, really massive. I cannot guarantee if this is the end because nothing right now is guaranteed. Anything could happen. Who thought we could see a 0.01 Kaspa? I read one of the tweets from Kaspa Onion who said this was another fair lunch for Kaspa because it was a great opportunity for you to buy. You say that, okay, I wasn't there when Kaspa was launched at a cheap price. Now you had the opportunity to buy Kaspa at a very, very cheap price. The funny thing is that most of these exchanges did not allow you to deposit or to withdraw, even to swap these coins. That happened and made me think that this was all coordinated. And if you want to know exactly why I think this is coordinated, look at the coins or the small market cap cryptocurrencies that are not listed on a lot of major exchanges. These coins did not get highly affected. A good example is Alephium. Alephium went from 0.18 to just 0.15. And the main reason I think these types of cryptocurrencies are not on a lot of trading exchanges. That's why their price was not highly manipulated. But when you look at cryptocurrencies like Kaspa, Sui, XRP, all those cryptocurrencies that are in major top tier 1 exchanges were highly and heavily manipulated. And this attack, I believe, was highly coordinated by these top exchanges. Because you cannot tell me that on Binance, you cannot deposit. On Coinbase, you cannot do the same. Every type of exchange that you know had a major problem. Now, why do you think Kaspa was heavily manipulated? We always talk about Binance, Coinbase, and other top exchanges wanting a lot of cheap Kaspa for them to list. I think there's no excuse right now because the price that Kaspa went to 0.01, there's no better price for you to get a lot of Kaspa at that cheap price. And especially if this thing was coordinated, I believe they were already packed their bags. And right now what I'm thinking is the narrative that Binance has to suppress the price to get a lot of Kaspa and then list, I think that narrative is already verified. If they did not accumulate a lot of Kaspa for them to get liquidity and them to list, I think that's not going to happen. So despite the fall of Kaspa from 0.07 to 0.01, some people thought Kaspa is over, Kaspa is finished. And actually, If you are watching this in real time, because at the time it was happening, I was watching it live, Kaspa go from 0.07 to 0.013. That's the lowest price that I could capture. It was really scary for most of the people. And in my head, I thought this will break a lot of people. And actually, you're going to see this on the timeline. A lot of people are going to be throwing in a towel. The people that came with the mindset of wanting to just flip Kaspa, make some profit and then dump Kaspa, I think they're in for a lot of trouble. The people that are into Kaspa for the long term saw this as a massive opportunity. When I was looking at these prices, I was really excited. Now, the good thing is how Kaspa bounced back after this massive sell-off. If you had an opportunity to buy Kaspa at its bottom at 0.01, you could be up 6x until now, because Kaspa has managed to retrace back or bounce back. It is currently at 0.06. Remember, it went to 0.01. But Kaspa managing to bounce back after that crash, I can call it a crash because it's not something that most people expected. Some people, I'll give credit to some people in the Kaspa community. Someone known as Tikala. So this was the first person to reply on the tweet that I posted after Kaspa hit 0.013. And I asked who saw this coming. And I realized he put out a tweet back in the days explaining how Kaspa is going to go to 0.01. And you need to have conviction in order to say that. You need to have a lot of confidence in order to say that, especially in the Kaspa community, because sometimes when you give some bearish price predictions, people are going to attack you. People will think that you are trying to fad Kaspa, but this guy, I'll give him a lot of respect and a lot of credit for calling this out before it even happened. Now, there's some other price predictions that we're going to be discussing in the next video that he put out, and I'll be looking into some of the things that he said on what might happen in the near future for Kaspa. Now, what I'm thinking about the price of Kaspa, Kaspa has to break 0.08 and stay above 0.08 for me to be confident that the price has 100% bounced back. Because if Kaspa keeps on trading below 0.08, anything could happen. Even the price predictions that Tikala put out could actually happen. Now, most of the Kaspa community are currently asking themselves, what is next for Kaspa? Is this the bottom? Should we expect another flash crash? Some people are blaming this on Trump tariffs. This is not on Trump. This is like the market makers were just waiting for something to blame on. They were just waiting for something to be said by Donald Trump, and they knew exactly that Trump is going to announce 100% tariffs on China goods. And they used that opportunity because right now, everybody that is seeing this massive sell-off is going to blame this on Trump tariffs. But in fact, it was a coordinated attempt to crash the market. This was all coordinated because it doesn't make sense. All these centralized exchanges did not allow people to buy the dip. Doesn't really make sense when there's this massive opportunity to buy the dip. Centralized exchanges decide to lock you out. They say you cannot deposit, you cannot swap, you cannot do anything. And this was the opportunity because it proves that this thing was all artificially created. They wanted to scoop a lot of cryptocurrencies for a cheap price, and after you can see what is actually happening. And that's why I posted a tweet after this happened, and I said, now watch Kaspa back to 0.07 because they've taken the liquidity. All the stop losses have been liquidated. What is going to happen next? They have to return to the old levels of Kaspa. This was all coordinated, and the people that were lucky to get cheap Kaspa, I think you have to be really proud. And I would say congrats to everybody that participated in buying this dip. Other people might be frustrated, and I believe this is going to break a lot of people. I'll see it in the comments. I know some people will be coming after the crypto influencers. Some people will be coming after the people that talk about Kaspa. So Bitcoin maxis are already coming after the Kaspa ecosystem. And instead of worrying about Bitcoin, it's funny that most people are worried about Kaspa. That gives you the confidence that most people are very, very much obsessed with the price of Kaspa. All the market crashed. Everything went down. But the first thing Bitcoiners had to screenshot was Kaspa. Now, if that is not obsession with Kaspa, tell me what is happening. That shows you that there's a lot of interest when it comes to Kaspa. Some Bitcoiners had an opportunity to get involved in Kaspa at a very cheap price. That's why Kaspa Onion said that was another fair lunch when it comes to Kaspa. You had an opportunity to buy Kaspa at a very, very cheap price. And if Kaspa continues to go down, I will 100% be buying more instead of crying, instead of blaming the devs, instead of blaming influencers, instead of blaming the people that are bullish on Kaspa. It all comes down to conviction. And this type of conviction, you cannot buy it. You cannot get it from somebody else. You have to study. You have to believe that what you are currently holding is very, very valuable. Now, back to my price predictions. What I want to say is Kaspa break 0.08 and close above 0.08 for me to at least have confidence that nothing fishy is going to happen. In this range between 0.08 and 0.05, anything could actually happen. Now, what is actually exciting is that after this flash crash, you can see that in the Kaspa ecosystem, people are struggling to buy more Kaspa. People are struggling to buy more Kaspa, not to sell more Kaspa. People are trying to get more Kaspa. And that tells you everything. I saw even some of the Bitcoin maxis who wanted to buy Kaspa. But because of the funny stuff that is going on in centralized exchanges, it was not possible at some time. But right now you can buy Kaspa on these exchanges. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe, and see you in another episode.